People thinks AI is a magic. Claude creates the code, AI generates the images, agent performs the task. But have you ever wondered how does AI really learns? Does it think like a human? Does it understand the concept or is there any mechanism behind it? After ML fundamentals, I come across terms like cost functions, derivatives, partial derivatives, backpropagation, chain rule, graded descents, and initially it looked very complex, scary, and more of mathematics. I decided to explore is it really going through in depth of these concepts and doing calculation really required for all roles, and I come across that knowing concepts of these terms is really required regardless of the role you are playing currently and the role you are targeting in the future. So I decided to break this complex things into a simple way, and let's go through it. Suppose during model training we give the question the capital of France is. The expected answer is Paris, but it predicted the Berlin, which is wrong. This is where machine learning actually starts. Even ChatGPT works like this during training. So the model makes the prediction first and then the improvement happens. Now the system asks how wrong was the prediction. Expected is Paris, but prediction is Berlin. Huge error. This error measurement is called loss function or cost function. We use the term loss function to refer error from a single prediction, whereas we use the term cost function to refer average error from multiple predictions. This is something like if you answer right, you get a good marks. If your answer is wrong, you get a less marks. So, somewhere the model needs to know the prediction is right or wrong, or I can say this is the way of measuring your prediction. Okay, now error exists. But how do we reduce it? Should the model need to move left or right, or do we need to increase the weight or decrease the weight? Here, derivative acts like a GPS direction system. It tells the direction model need to move to reduce the error. Imagine a food delivery company where the customer gave a rating 3. Now the company wants to understand whether the packaging was bad, whether the food quality is poor, whether the price is more, whether it is delivered late. So here multiple factors contributed differently for the final rating. AI model also works in a similar way. Modern AI models internally have billions of parameters called weights. When the prediction is wrong, partial derivative help identify which parameter contributed how much for the final error. Instead of changing everything blindly, now the model knows which adjustments are needed most. Now the model knows which factor caused the problem. So it traces error backward through the network. It is something like ChatGPT predicted wrong answer and the system now wants to investigate which layer caused the error, which weight contributed the most. The error travel backward through the network. This process is called backpropagation. The mathematical mechanism that help error move backward layer by layer is called chain rule. Chain rule helps AI how changes in earlier layers affect the final output or the error. Now the model knows error exists and which weight caused the error. So what next? It slightly adjusts those weights to improve the output or an error. This step of improvement is called gradient descent. Think of it like a student learning from a mistake. Wrong answer, small correction. Wrong answer, another correction. Over millions or billions of examples, the model becomes smarter. Let's think during ChatGPT training phase, it has been given a prompt to write a Python code for sorting and it has given a wrong code. So in the background, now the cost function identifies the error and derivatives gives the direction to move forward, and now the partial derivative identifies which weight caused how much percentage of error, and the back propagation happens with the help of chain rule with mathematical mechanism by traveling back through the layers. Now the gradient descent knows which weight caused how much percentage of problem and it adjusts the weights according to that. The relevant output is responded. So it happens trillions of millions of times to the model in the training phase. So the ChatGPT is adjusted with those weights. When we prompt a ChatGPT the same question, that this background process doesn't happen, and this has already happened during the training phase. Now this is called inference phase, where the weights are already decided during training phase, and the ChatGPT uses those weights and it predicts the next word and it gives the response for us. So this is the way AI has been trained, or it has learned in the training phase.